All right, I broke this down. It was Tyler Shuck, Studyball, but I know a lot of people aren't going to watch it, may not be Saints fans, so I wanted to break it down here too. And another teaching tape to me, just asking the question, why? Okay, so as we play this out here, it's going to be a sack by Tyler, and we're going to run a play that I call, well, this is really a pylon concept here. So what we're doing is we're going to run a high pylon here. So that pylon should go to the back pylon, my opinion. Okay, then we're going to run kind of a deep out corner route here. We're going to have the motion be the flat guy, and then on the back side, we're going to run a big in and a check down. Okay, so this is a common play. Sometimes we're going to run a poco, so this is a post out here instead of a corner. Okay, but a very common play all around the NFL, including the backside part of this, the big in with the check down, and then the pylon or the poco combination to the front side. Okay, so when I watch film, I'm always asking myself why. Okay, I want to know why. I want to be in the room. I want to be a fly on the wall. I want to know why when we put this stuff in. Okay, so here's what I want you to see, is that the Saints start in basically a 2x2 with the back to the right. So it's basically a 3-man formation to the right, 2-man formation to the left. Okay, then we're going to motion our guy here, and it's going to become a 4-strong look, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's going to become a 4-strong look with just one on the backside. Okay, so I already told you what the combination is. And so the main part of this combination, like when we call this combination, you know that the coaches are calling it to get this, 95% of the time. You very seldom are calling it to get the big in on the backside. That's what you go to when you don't have the look that you want to the front side, okay? So again, that all plays into it, is why are we calling this play? So now I'm gonna ask the question, what do you expect to get when you go 4 strong? Because a lot of teams, when they go 4 strong, what they do is they're trying to isolate this guy back here with a one-on-one route. So if the defense pushes, right? So if they push these guys this direction, we get the one-on-one backside against a corner over there, hopefully just one guy over there, because they're pushing, because they know you're trying to overload them to the front side, okay? So they're pushing. So that's what I would always expect to get. Doesn't have to happen. You know, some teams will leave this guy back there, and then you get your overload to the front side because you've got 4 receivers over here and they haven't adjusted and added anybody else to the mix. Okay? So that's why people use, or why they should use, 4 strong. So I'm going to ask the question, why are we running this play from a 4 strong set? Why are we inviting the defense to add an extra guy to the main aspect of this combination? Why would I ever want to do that? That makes no sense to me. If I want to throw it backside, I get it. Okay, I got it. We're going to add an extra guy to it, throw it backside. Okay, and maybe that's what they told the quarterback here is, hey, if they add the extra guy, go straight to the backside. I could live with that. I can live with that aspect. But again, because this is such a common play, and it's usually read from the bottom to the top in this particular case, I don't think they told him to do that. So I want you to watch how this plays out. We motion, and look at this guy right here. What's he do? With the motion, he's going to widen, right? He's going to widen here. So he widens. We've already got a corner coming down. We've got this guy widening, so he's in that hole that we want for the corner route, and we haven't given our quarterback any advantage here whatsoever, because we've taken these guys right into the windows that we're looking to throw into. So, right, you see that? Right? What we really want to do is we want to get 2 on 1 defender. That's what we want. We want a high-low there, right? If we don't get the deep pylon shot, okay? We want a high-low on the flat defender over here. But we've invited 2 guys to come over and cover this flat type area on the football field. We've made life for the quarterback harder than it really should be. And again, I'm always just asking these questions. Why? Why? We could run the same play, okay, from this particular look and release the back here and play it like this, okay? And we're going to leave 54 in a tighter alignment. We're going to attack 54 with this tight end, okay? So if they're rolling over here, okay, if they're rolling over here, then this guy is going to have a better chance of hanging to the inside and allowing us, once again, to get a high-low off of one defender there. One defender there. I mean, you take this back anyways, and you put him backside underneath this end anyways. So you're taking him from the front side to the back side. So why have him in the front side to begin with? Okay, let's take it even one step further. Why not put the back over here to start with? So now our 3 wide receiver set is to the top. What do you think that does if we've got that set now? What do you think that does to these guys? Okay, it's going to tighten them even more. So now we start there. Then we'll bring our guy in motion. And yeah, these guys will probably offset and maybe shift back this way a little bit. But it's probably going to do a better job of holding those guys into a tighter alignment so I can get what I want to the outside by isolating one guy instead of adding it to 4 strong, letting them overshift even more and getting bodies everywhere to be able to take away everything we're doing. Okay? We want to do this, and we want to put this guy in a one-on-one back here because we get an overshift. Okay, I could live with that a little bit more than a classic combination where you're telling your quarterback, and again, I'm watching Tyler right here. They did overshift it, and Tyler's eyes are coming to this side right now. So that gives me a pretty good identification that that he's identifying this, but he's not saying, hey, if they do this, I'm going backside. He's identifying, hey, this is where I'm starting, is down here to the bottom. Doesn't matter what they do. I'm going to read this side, and then I'll work back to the backside. And we have put him at a disadvantage here. It ultimately leads to a sack, and we can say what we want. Oh, yeah, there's a tight little window here that maybe we can jam the throw into, or he could dump it to the flat because these guys both got depth. I know, we can say all of that stuff, but it's not my point. My point is why. Why, when we decided to put this in out of 4 strong, did we think this was the best formation to get what we wanted for this bottom concept here? Because that seems to be the primary and what we're looking at here. And I'm just going to argue, right? By doing that, you put your team at a disadvantage, and it led to this sack right here. Even though there's some ways to salvage it, it made this play infinitely harder for the quarterback to read and make the right decision because we let them add an extra guy. But the biggest thing I would say is I expect that. I expected them to do that anyways. I would expect them in 4 strong to move the extra guy over there. So why do we set it out of that particular formation?